So I want to talk a little bit about your Japanese 12 oral final. And the oral final is what I call misete setsumeshite, or show and tell. You are to select an item or a picture to show and tell. You will each talk for 3 or 4 minutes about your item and answer questions from your partner. Then your partner will talk about their item. This is a talk with a partner and not a practice speech, and we will have some practice time. So what I would like you to do is select something that you can tell a story about. So to an item or a picture for which you have something to say. What you're not going to do is do a picture that has a person in it and spend a lot of time describing what we can see in the picture. What I'd like you to do is tell a story or tell about this picture that gives us more detailed information. For example, if you had a picture, for the picture, what happened before you took this picture? What happened while this picture was being taken, and what happened after you took this picture might be a clue. For an item, I want you to remember the questions that we all know are who, and what, and where, and when, and why, and what do you think, and all of those things we use as follow-up questions. You will each talk for about 3 minutes, probably about your item, and answer a couple of questions from your partner. Your partner will be a partner of my choosing, so you want to practice with a number of different people. Please remember that this is a talk and not a practice speech. In other words, you have done this a lot when you have talked with partners and then asked follow-up questions. If you're looking at preparing for this, you can prepare by gathering information and making what we call rough talking point notes. In other words, keyword, things that you want to be able to say or know how to say to remind you what to talk about. This can be done in either English or Japanese, whatever works best for you. You can prepare for this by selecting an object or a photo, no live animals please, that is easy to talk about, not describing what I or your partner can see, but rather what's going on with this particular item. And you can prepare for this by using your practice time to the fullest. Find someone to practice with outside of class time if this will help. What you can't do is prepare for this by memorizing a speech or improvising at the last minute. I'm just going to go back to this. You can also prepare by talking to yourself. Close the door in your room, get out a mirror or not, and start actually telling about your object. This will tell you what you know and what you need to know, which might filter back into keywords that you need in order to talk about this. We will have practice date in class, and that will be January 22nd. And if you're going on the 24th, you will also have the 23rd. Times will be available on the 23rd and the 24th. They're usually about a 10-minute block. If you have period 4 free, I will take you on period 4 in January 23rd or 24th, and then during class time, you're freed up to prep for other things. You will be marked on our typical marking discussion scale. Can you respond to questions? Can you ask questions? Are you using appropriate vocabulary and expressions learned in the course and using a solid grasp of grammar learned to date? In other words, are you using what we've learned in Japanese 12? I'm not asking that you torture yourself trying to fit everything we've learned into Japanese 12, but your expression should be on a Japanese 12 level. The other thing that we're looking for is spontaneity and ease at interacting. And those are those things that you have looked at when you have been doing your orals. How easy is it to do this? How comfortable do I feel? So if I have to recap, you need an item or a picture, or a picture of an item. If you want to talk about a pet, a picture of a pet, those kind of things. You need to practice talking about it with the who, what, where, when, why, how, what do you think questions. And you need to be able to think of a few questions that you would ask to get further details if you were talking to someone else. And generally, we will have about 10 minutes to work between you and your partner. I hope that explains it. There is an attached worksheet for you. There is an attached information sheet for you, much like the one that's in your unit book handout. And you're welcome to look at that as well.